What up, everybody? Welcome to the Payso podcast. Super excited to be here. Got my man Papito in the building with us today. What up, P?
What's the word?
What's going on, man?
What's
We
the
trying to
word?
get this thing rolling. It's just, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here with you. 100%.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Jay. It's a pleasure to be here,
Yeah,
Jay.
so what's up, man? Talk to me. How you feeling, man? How was your day today?
It's a long one, buddy. It was a long one.
Oh,
I've been up since 4 in the morning. I just started like a new routine in life.
oh,
Started going to the gym early, Jay, to
oh
see how
yeah.
my day starts.
Oh yeah.
And it brings a lot more energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, when you started the gym?
this week.
Oh, this week.
I did. I want
I
to take
mean,
it serious now. Like, you know what I mean? I'm getting older, and
yeah,
I need this little that extra boost
that's a
in this.
fact.
And my body hurts, my boy.
Yeah, that's that old age, my
Nah,
boy.
shit. I
That's
ain't
that.
that. I mean, before when I used to jump out of the car, it used to feel good. Now I need a cane.
As a fact. Now, I want to share how we met each other because it ties into a lot of stuff. It's a big part of it's a big part of our story, our life.
Of course
You
it
know what I
is.
mean? So I went to I met Papito in high school. And when I met Pete, it was first off, I went to Tilden High School. Shout out to Tilden. Shout out to everybody that went to Tilden. The time that we went there, that school was more like a jail. That school.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild times, Jay.
Yeah,
Wild times. It's definitely a crazy experience, right, to say the least.
a crazy experience. I'll tell you this. One of the things I remember in that school that kind of sticks out to me was one time I seen these two kids fighting, and one kid had a razor blade in the middle of his hand and like cut up, and he was hitting the kid with the razor blade coming down on him. It was blood all over the hallway. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
It was my first year in that school, and I was like, oh no. Why did my mom why did my mom let me come to this school? I said, "Oh my God, you got to learn. You really had to learn survival in there."
oh, that's survival of the fittest in
Nah,
there.
that was different. That was when I seen that. I said, "Oh, this is gonna be a long 4 years." I ain't make it after 4 years, but it was gonna be a long one. Yeah, me and Pete met in high school, man. We met in Tilden, and when I met Pete, Pete was smooth, man. Pete was a smooth operator in school. He was quiet, but he was that kid that had the Vansons. He had a car at that time, and we just and we were probably one of the only out of probably you could probably count how many Spanish people was in this school, and we
Low
were
percentage, very low.
yeah, it was like 5 people.
Nah, it had to be a little bit more, but
All
only
right,
five stood out
all right, like 8.
because the other ones was hiding most of the time.
it was
Uh,
like it was like 8. I remember me, you, Chichi, Will,
I
rest
mean,
in peace, Will.
most of the Spanish people were on
Hmm.
the baseball team. Yeah, they
Facts,
was on a baseball team,
facts,
and
facts.
everyone else was just hiding because it was
Hmm.
hard in there, Jay.
Yeah, hell, yeah. You was on the baseball team.
I mean, I tried out in the beginning. I made it to go, but my grades told me I couldn't play.
Yeah.
I was just sitting about there, ended my career short,
that that
quick.
that's what happened with me with the basketball. With the basketball, I was super nice. I was nice. I had big dreams. I had big dreams. I really thought I was going to the league. I didn't think I was going to the league, but you dreaming big. I'm pretty sure you had that time when you thought you was gonna go to the league in baseball,
Well,
playing
no, I
baseball.
mean that's the goal of anything. When you start doing anything, you have to go in it thinking big, right? Because I mean, what's the reason of doing it for?
Hmm.
If you can't just go in there thinking about it, like I'm gonna make it to that next level, right?
That's a fact. I met people that not met. Actually, I had a talk. I'm not gonna put who, or I'm not gonna say like who it was or like what he was to me or whatever. But I had a talk with somebody one time, and this is somebody that I've known my whole life, and he told me, um, I always ask. I was like, "Yo, what was your dream? Like, like you ever had a dream? Whatever." This is like a recent talk that I had probably like 3 years ago, and he said, "Nah, I never had dreams." And I'm like, what do you mean? Like it really messed me up, like genuinely messed me up. Like not messed me up in a way, but I'm like really like, whoa, that's crazy, because this is somebody that I love. You know what I mean? Like, and when I asked him, you know, like, you ever dream? You ever had any kind of like goals or dreams? He's like, nah, I never really dreamed of nothing. Like, I never really wanted to be like you, Jay, like a boxer or this or that. He told me, and I was like, it really messed me up. It like I was
But
like, what the fuck?
most likely his circumstances, Jay. There was no big dreamers at home. They didn't teach him how to dream. That could have been maybe the reason why.
But nobody taught me how to dream, so that's why I like.
But you could be you're an outliner, Jay. I mean,
Mhm,
at the end of the day, most people's circumstances really is their life. You know what I mean? A lot of
mhm.
people just stuck in four corners. So, what can you really dream of?
That was crazy to me. That was really crazy to
Mm,
me. That's a deep talk though. Like that you've always had dreams.
I was seeing bigger things.
Like
I
it,
didn't stay stuck anywhere.
and sometimes the dream could be, I just want to get rich. They
Yeah,
want to get wealthy, right? I think
yeah.
that's a dream, right? And so that's why I kind
That
of
could be
like,
more of a goal more than a dream.
but it is a dream though.
Mm.
If you ain't never had nothing, right? Yo, D, if you ain't never had nothing, like that's a dream, right? Like, yeah, you know, if like yeah, it's a goal, but it's like, oh man, dreams of getting rich, or like you may not know what to do, right? Like how to do it, but at least, I mean, you had movies like uh, was it Richie Rich? Blank
Mm-hmm.
Check. Like I
Mm.
remember watching Blank Check
Those are
back in the
good. Yeah,
day.
those are classic
What?
movies, right?
What's Blank Check, bro? Like I remember like that right there was
When he was
just
building an amusement park in his backyard,
what,
right? Yeah.
man, to this day, man, listen, I'm thinking about that
Mm.
right now, getting goosebumps. Like
Mm.
I always had that. He was a little ass kid, and he had this blank check, and you know he had the music park in the back, and he had everything. Man, the big boxing gloves, the big, you know, all that
Everything,
shit. The
everything.
cars. He even had that pretty girl that he kissed in the movie, the older chick. You remember that?
Mm. Yeah, those good times,
Oh
right?
man, so
Good
it's like
times.
movies like that inspired me. So it's crazy how like when somebody told me they never really had a dream, that kind of like I was like, what the
You
hell?
think he maybe had a dream and maybe it just faded with time?
Nah, because we spoke and he was like he never saw himself.
Because it's kind of hard to believe. Like the first thing you get asked when you're a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Hmm.
So how can that fade? If I mean, time probably faded from the time nobody asked him what he wanted out of life. Because they ask the first thing you ask in school. I mean, even when you go home, they asking your parents or your family members. Asking your family members. The first thing they ask you when you go in anywhere from first grade, second grade, what do you want to be? You're in school for something to learn something. What do you want to be? So you think it faded from then? He probably didn't ask that question enough.
I don't know, I don't know. And this is somebody that's very close to me. So I don't know. I would assume, but you never know because maybe the people around you didn't have dreams. Like I was like that little kid that grew up like looking at rap videos. You know what I mean? Like, I was a big Michael Jordan freak. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody want to be like Mike. So how
Yeah.
like you don't dream? Like you
Yeah,
got people.
Mike was my dream still. He used to kill my Knicks, boy.
Yeah. Oh, you was a Knicks fan?
My whole life. Yeah, I'm a New York fan. Everything. Knicks,
I wasn't. No.
Yankees, the Giants.
Uh,
Everything is New York. I'm a New
did
Yorker
you
at
hate?
heart.
Did you hate Mike growing up?
Ah,
Then
fuck him. But he was.
you was for real
Yeah.
at a young
I
age.
admired him.
No, I'm saying that, but at a young age, like,
Yeah, he's a
oh, so you
killer.
really was
And
fucking with the
especially in the
Knicks?
playoffs, he used to fuck us up.
Oh shit! Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to know. See, I'm learning. I'm learning things about my man over here. Come on, that's Jordan. I thought all the little kids grew up like
Yeah, but I
you
mean,
too. Oh man.
the killers. He's a killer. I mean, that's the reason why I really stopped really watching basketball because it would just break my heart every year.
Yo, talking about Mike, I had me and Noel always go back and forth, and he's consistent, man, with LeBron, and me with Mike, and he always every day he sends me a damn reel of LeBron and something or whatever, because he's Noel's he's a very analytical person, so he'll be like,
But
yo,
you really
the
go to
stats are the
stats.
stats.
But you go to the stats. What's that? It's all about what makes you feel good at the end of the day. I always felt a lot better watching Michael Jordan than watching
I
LeBron
think
James.
I think he.
It's not about stats. I mean, he played a lot longer. He played a lot longer. Jordan, how many years he played? 15?
13,
13 years, right?
I
So
believe, yeah.
if he said 13,
Thir-
LeBron is going to play 10 seasons more than what he did.
he retired in the middle of that
Peak,
at
right?
his peak.
I mean,
Went
but
to
you
go play
can't.
baseball.
That's a debate you would never win at the end of the day, right? Because you talk about now what they can hold on to, LeBron all-time scoring
Now
leader, right?
LeBron,
That's the hardest. That was the hardest record to beat, to get to the top of that, right?
but it took him 67 years to do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like
He did-
arguing. It's like arguing that, right? How you gonna? You can't really debate that with them. You will never win that argument. But it's all about a feeling to me. Like what I felt a
Yeah.
lot. I felt more excited watching a Michael Jordan
Yeah.
play because I know if the game was tied, the ball's going to him. He ain't passing the ball.
Nah.
He ain't scared of the moment. He ain't looking to pass that shit to the
Nah.
corner. He's like, everybody clear out ISO out the way. Give me the ball.
You made a good point.
So it's not about because you really put the stats together. LeBron is the baddest motherfucker on the planet. But if you want to talk about feelings, what made you feel good watching it? What made you? I never really, to be honest, LeBron never made me tune into a game he's playing.
Me neither.
I didn't give a shit if LeBron was playing or not. He wasn't that exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Jordan, I know if he got the ball, the game was on the line.
You think it's because of times, like different?
It's not
like,
about times. It's about the feeling.
The
Jay.
feeling.
Time don't got to do with feeling.
I feel like I feel the same. It's like Jordan had this certain thing about him. Like he just looked different on the court. Like he just,
you know
like,
what it is?
He had this aura
It's
about
when you.
him.
It's like being an alpha male, right? When you being an alpha male, it's like everyone is just like admiring you because you got that presence.
Yeah,
I don't look at LeBron as an alpha.
yeah.
That's just me personally.
Just his presence.
It don't take nothing away from who he is. His greatness.
Yeah.
It's just about okay. I know I got a killer with me.
Facts.
And we want to kill.
Facts.
And I know somebody's gonna die.
Facts.
I don't get that shit. When I look at LeBron, it's like, oh, we got the team with me.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about we got okay, my boys are gonna come do the killing. That's how I look at it.
Yo, if Noel was here right now,
I mean, you can't. It's like talking politics.
Nah,
facts.
It ain't no winner. But that's what, like, I mean, you said that. It was a feeling that Jordan brung. It was just this energy that when he played, it was just different. You know, it was just definitely different. And man, he's so growing up watching him was like he gave us these dreams and all this kind of stuff. So it was weird to hear that. It was weird to hear that somebody didn't have ever had a dream, like maybe the biggest dream.
Has that person ever traveled out the country? You think he got a passport, that person?
Well, I know he traveled one place out the country a very, very long time.
Okay,
like a long time
traveling
ago.
really does open your mind.
Yeah, it
right?
does.
Because you start seeing different things, right? When you travel, you be like, oh, I want more of this.
Yeah.
I want more of this. And that really opens up more dreams because when you want more of something, you're going to find a means to get it. So you're going to find like more ways to make money, to travel more. So that opens up, you have bigger goals, more dreams. That's like a very important factor when it comes to all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that can help, but you could be a kid growing up that never did that, but will see it on TV or something and be inspired.
That's true too.
You know what I mean? Well, the first time I traveled was my mom. They took me to Florida to Universal Studios at 5 years old. So that could do a lot for somebody. Yeah. I was very young, and then they took me to Cancun, Mexico. You know what I mean? So definitely, I remember. Yeah, you definitely like if you think about it, it is something that could expand
it opens up your world, your life. Everything is on the traveling does that.
Even as a little kid, you may not think it, but it plants that seed.
No, because what it is, I mean, it brings that feeling, right? Everything is all about feeling. It brings that feeling, like especially when you know you're gonna go somewhere. It's kind of even hard to sleep the night before. So it opens up your world completely and everything. Like, I mean, when I mean world, I mean your feelings, and your excitement. It brings more life to you,
right? So talk about that. Going back to like high school. When I met P, we were we was in a crazy high school, but we met a lot of good people in that school. That school was the reason why I started boxing. And I ended up getting kicked out the school. You dropped out.
Yeah, I stopped going.
You dropped out of that school.
Yeah, they told me to stop going. I stopped going.
Yo, P was that guy in there. Like, I mean, my school was very like materialistic, like very, very like nobody went to school to learn.
Nah.
Probably a handful, some girls.
The graduation rate was low.
It was super low. We was in jail. It was in jail. It was jail. It was Rikers Island. Damn there. It was Tilton High School.
It wasn't really set up for you to succeed, right?
Nah. Nah,
Mm.
it was insane. It had a lot of good people. It had a lot of talented people in that school, but that school was insane. Um, but that's where I learned. I mean, not learned, but that's where I started. You are who you keep yourself around.
That altered your life. At the end of the
Hmm.
day, you really put it. Tilden altered the way how you looked at your life. What you really wanted out of your life was from Tilden.
Which is crazy because I wasn't even supposed to go to that school. I was supposed to go to Boys and Girls, which is literally walking distance from where I lived, and they didn't accept me and they told me, "Yo, Tilden's your zone school."
Well, and you know anyone else from your neighborhood that went to Tilden? So how
Hell
the hell was that your zone
no.
school?
Even Haas and them. Haas went to Sarah J. Sarah J was downtown, right? I
Mm.
think that's even closer than fucking Tilden.
Yeah, Tilden is on the other side. It's on the other side of town.
That was an hour bus ride every morning.
How you used to do it, Jay?
Everybody, I don't
You're
even
not even
know.
a morning person, my boy.
I'm not.
Mm.
I'm not. I hated school. My mother used to. My mother had trouble waking me up in the morning, but every morning, I went to the school and I'm like, yo, it was crazy, but it was exciting. I really liked it. I liked hanging out with my friends. I like just bullshitting. Like we had a lot of fun in that school. We definitely had a lot of fun in that school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of exciting times because we used to do a lot of cutting, and when the chase used to get too hot, you used to have to run out of school.
Nah, that shit was crazy.
And if you had a paddy wagon waiting outside, I know exactly what door to go not to run into them.
Yeah.
And I ain't never get picked up by them. I know a lot of people used to get picked up by them. They parents had to go pick them up at the precinct.
Yeah, I remember one time I was like for orientation. When we first started school, my mom was taking me to school, and you know, I'm a new kid. I'm a new kid, and I'm damn near white, right? And I'm going and this school is Jamaicans and Haitians, Jamaican and Haitians, basically the whole school. So you got this little white boy that's coming up to the school with my mom. I'm going to orientation, and it was this girl, and the whole school was Crip. The whole school was Crip. I've never been around Crips in my life. I grew up in a blood neighborhood. Everybody around my neighborhood was black. And this is the time where, like, remember 031 and they're like, you know what I mean? Like that era
People
where it
getting
was
cut.
like, yeah, it was just so crazy. So I go to this school and it's all Crip. I wasn't even a gang member, and I felt like, oh, they gonna get me because I live around Bloods. Like I was like, oh, this shit is crazy, right? So I go up to the school. We walk into the school, and when I'm walking, I remember these two girls standing by the gate outside. And when I walked past them, one of them like smelt me, and she was like, fresh meat. And
Well, you didn't ask your mother to transfer you right then and there, Jay.
I was like, what was that? Oh, this is gonna be tough. What was that?
I would ask for a transfer
This
right
was a
there. It's time to
this was
go.
a female, and she wasn't saying fresh meat like, oh, he's cute. He was fresh meat like, I'ma get you. Yeah, it was orientation. Like she wanted to cut me. I ain't even doing it. I'm just walking up to the school. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a tough school year. And
Mm.
man, I ended up being really cool with all the crazy people. I ended up being real cool with
It's true.
everybody.
You was always in a tough crowd, Jay.
Yeah,
You was in there with with the toughest of them all inside the school, right?
but all the tough people got really big hearts. It's like Mike Tyson. It's like I'm reading this book right now. Mike is crazy. Mike is crazy. Mike, and a part of the book. I know we kind of like all over the place right now, but fuck it. In a part of the book, like very early in the book, he was like, "Yeah, my mom, she thought something was wrong with me." But I was really just a bad fucking kid. That shit took me out. I was like, yo, he was really bad, son. That book is amazing. But yeah, it was just mad bad kids in that school. And ended up meeting some really good people and it's crazy how you keep yourself around, how certain things like kind of like like it
Alters.
yeah, it alters your life where it's like you just never know. Because if I would have went to another school, a lot of things would have never happened the way it did. I no, it would have never happened the way I did, because around my way I never met any boxers. I never met like anybody that was like into that world. Everything around my way was like rapping or basketball. um and then I ended up getting cool with somebody near.
Even going back to those days, Curtis was actually the first person I met in school. My
Yeah.
first day of school, first period, he sat right behind me.
Uh-huh.
and he was talking to me about how he was coming back from. It was a tournament in California, I can recall. My
Mm.
memories, it could
Yeah.
be wrong, could be right. And I was like, "Hey, what you do?" Like, I'm a boxer. And he was an amateur boxer. And then I come to find out he's one of the baddest boys. I mean, he's like number 3, right? In
Yeah.
amateur knockouts, right?
He was number 2,
Number
I
2?
believe. Number 2. Number 1 is Mike Tyson.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mike, yeah, yeah. Mike is fighting Jay Paul. But yeah, number 2 was Mike, and he was in our school, and this kid
And
was number
and he's a good, big heart too. I mean,
big
he's a
deal.
good people.
Mm-hmm.
Good,
Fire.
a good person.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, when you with him, you with someone. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I got more cool with them.
Um. Yeah, I ended up getting to boxing because of those guys, and but I got kicked out. Me and P, we ended up.
I mean, we all went our separate ways because
Yeah,
you
we.
got kicked out, and we was 2 different parts of town,
Mm-hmm.
and then we found ourselves again on MySpace days.
MySpace.
Yeah, and then from there, you could explain the story from
Yo,
there.
obviously you had MySpace, right? What was your name? All eyes on you. Whole eyes on me. That's bad funny. Mine was J Payso Ghetto Superstar. That was my
Well, mine was real simple, Papito.
Yeah, yours is Papito Pedro probably. Or Papito.
Papito.
Yeah. Mine was J Payso Ghetto Superstar. Funny. But yeah, we ended up finding each other on which is crazy because you're not even like a social media head at all, right?
Yeah, I think my cousin the one that set up the page for me. My cousin Neil, and then cause I mean that was happening, and I found you. I think it was the Corey's page. I was following Corey. Corey was following you. I was like, "Yo, that's Jay, right?" Like,
Mm.
yeah, that's Jay. And then from there, I hit you up, and then from there, it was history. From there, we've
And
been
it's
kind
like
of inseparable
boom.
since those days. That's like what year was like 2005, 2006, or before that.
Before that.
Yeah,
Before that, that was 2005. I remember 2006. I know exactly where I was in 26. 2006. That was way before that. That was like 20. That was probably like
nah, it wasn't 03. 03 we was
wait.
in school. We was coming
Mm-hmm.
out of
Yeah, we
school,
were. We
so it got
were.
to be like 04, 05.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It probably was. It probably was like '06.
Yeah, around
Cause
that
that
time.
yeah, it probably was '06. Yeah, '06, '07.
Around
Oh
that
six,
time.
oh seven, for sure. Because yep. It was definitely that because that was the time I started partying a lot.
Yeah.
And then when we ended up linking, we ended up linking and man, that first night we linked, I think we got together and
Yeah,
went out.
yeah, because you was like, yo, we come here. I'm about to go to this club. Come fuck with me. And then from there, and then I wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah, I was in a club scene like crazy back then. We ended up going out. We was going out everywhere, man, to all the fire spots in the city, all Midtown.
But your page, I remember, like right now, like your page was like popping, right? And then you always had a niche for knowing how to put content out. So my
Mm,
mind was like, Jay's getting to the bag. How can I get to Jay to get to the money?
mm,
So that opened up my okay. How can I get? And then we hit up, and I'm always thinking about, oh, how can we get to some money?
mm.
Our conversation is always about getting to the next level of life, right? And that really like
That's all it really was.
yeah.
That's really what it was. But I was a kid trying to figure out my life, but I always was good with some type of I was always good with like content and
You know
stuff
how to
like that.
grab attention, and that's the number one thing, especially on that. If you want to make something out of that, you gotta know how to grab the attention, know how to create content, and that was something that you mastered at that time. Since that time,
Which is crazy. I was just kind of like having fun with it. I was having fun, but I did have boxing. I knew that I needed to like promote
yeah,
things
but
and
in that time, that what I was also seeing too is that you was messing with Swayze and his music, right? So
yeah,
you was
we
doing a
was
bunch
putting
of
out his music a
videos
lot.
and this and that. You was like it was some kind of traction. You was looking for traction, and I wanted to be a part of that traction to see what can we do. How can I add value to that? That's the only thing I always thought about. How can I add value to anything and
Yeah.
put myself in a position to do it.
Mm,
We always try to find a way,
right.
and that was like, all right, bang, you knew how to grab that attention. You
Hmm.
was pretty good at it. Oh, since then, Jay.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We definitely had a lot of fun, man. You just made me think about like the whole situation with Haas. Haas ain't know nothing about like social media, putting out music. Like I was kind of like managing that whole situation when it came down to that. Man, great times. But we ended up linking when we linked. We went out that time, but from that point on, man, it was like game time. We was going out so much that It was like, yo, how can we get some money doing this?
Yeah.
Right. And then we ended up starting the Payso Entertainment. All right. And that was fire. I had a good time. I definitely that was a great experience. Like, putting that whole situation together, learning how to make money from the party scene. And we did that from scratch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not easy. That was a hard thing to do. A lot of time, a lot of effort, trying to figure it out the whole time.
It's
We didn't know what we was doing because we didn't have a blueprint. Nobody taught us how to do it. We never sat with no
Nah,
one and asked for no advice on how to do it.
hell no.
All we did was just put one, two, and two together and get okay. What we gotta do? We gotta get a spot. From the spot, okay. What's the next thing we gotta do? How can we negotiate with them? What they want? How much we gotta give them? What will be the percentage of us at the bar? Okay. How can we find out a place how to get these flyers done?
Right.
And that was a process, and no one helped us doing it. We just figured out, okay, where can we get the flyers? Then what's the best prices for the flyers? How much you would get for that? And I mean, you never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
We didn't get a blueprint to that, and
No.
we made it happen. I mean, if it would have stayed consistent, it would have been. We probably would have been promoting events and like
Right now.
concerts. But it's about the consistency of it. We didn't stay consistent. We fell off from it.
I mean, I think one of the I mean, it was just a headache. That shit was a
Nah,
headache.
but I mean, I ran into something and that really like whatever the case is, but we was never consistent. But we would have been consistent. We probably would have been a
Yeah,
big promoter in the
it would have
city.
been definitely it would have been game time, man. I mean, we ended up getting inspired by ransacking them.
Yeah.
Remember, they had all the girls out in Queens.
Mhm.
They had all the hot parties. Period.
Yeah, they had all the they had that they had them things that was showing up.
Yeah, shout out to Hams and Diego for
Hmm.
sure. Yeah, so Ramsack was definitely, um,
I mean, it was more like how can you say that they influenced us because we're like if they could do it, we could do it.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, because you had a presence on MySpace, and
Yeah,
if you
we
bring the girls out, the guys will come.
from scratch, from scratch we put this together, which was man, it
And we
just
never
even
co-promoted with no one. We never did none of that, right? We
um
just went straight to it.
later on,
You did,
later
but I
on I
mean, with
did, yeah,
me,
but
I never.
that time, yeah, I started to like I did like two, three. I did one with Crush Parties with Hollywood Steve. One time. I did a few. I did a few cold. But when we were doing it, we did it from scratch. With our own money.
And it was fun. It was. Then it was a
Mhm.
learning thing, but it was fun. We had a good
A
time
lot of
always
fun.
doing it.
Met a lot of good people. Made a lot of good connections. Learned. I mean, that's entrepreneurship. You're really learning shit from scratch. Taking losses. Taking losses, gains, all that kind of stuff. I remember this one time that we did a party. When we did the party, which was, I think, I forgot the name of the club. If I'm not mistaken, at the time it was Club Matrix or some shit like that. And I remember we ended up putting this party together. And it reminds you, this is not like how it is today. I mean, obviously, we talking about back then where it wasn't social media where today's like you just throw a post up, whatever. We had to get all these flyers. We had to come out,
Wait outside the club when the party was coming out.
all that, put the
Was
flyers
on
on
the
top of the
car.
cars, passing them out to people. We had a whole Payso Entertainment ladies for they could start promoting this shit. Remember all of that, man? So
That's really hitting the ground,
yeah,
right?
what we
That's on
was
the ground.
grinding. It was an all day. It was a grind. It was a
4 in
grind
the
from that
morning, you'd be outside of a club waiting just to give out
all the
flyers.
time. And like, man, it was fun too.
Man,
You
you
gotta love it.
20, 21, 22 years old. You got all the energy in the world. You ain't getting tired.
Yeah, you wilding. So we ended up doing this party, and when we got the line is crazy, and then the owner comes out. When the owner comes out, he goes, "You you can't we can't do the party unless you drop them. Unless you pay pay $3,000." I'm like, that wasn't the deal. He wanted the money up front, and I'm like, I'm trying to get him to let us in. And he was like, "No, we had a line damn near around the block." And I called you. Remember that time I ended up calling you? I'm like, "Yo, P, they're not opening up the door. Boom, boom, boom. We need 3 racks. Woo, woo, woo. Tell you, we got a bunch of people outside." And you ended up, yo, what you talking about? Yo, shit, nigga, I'll be here in a couple minutes. And I'm like, within 15 minutes or so, you pulled up, you gave me that stack of money in the rubber band, and I ended up giving it to the man. They opened, man, what a night. What a
Mm.
night! That was an
You
incredible
was
night.
nervous. You was
Well,
nervous.
man, we had a bunch of people outside. I was like, "Yo, what's that guy?" Because that wasn't the plan. What he said wasn't the plan. We did all these parties, and you you live, you learn. It is crazy because we party so much. It's like, how can you get money? Because that's what it's about, right? It's about how can we grow here? How can we make some money? How can we do this? How can we do that? You
How can you
know,
turn your lifestyle into a paycheck, right?
right? It's like you can't be partying for free. It's like, damn, I party so much, I can't be doing this shit for free.
It was a good experience. Even from that, right? Like, I mean, you learn so much, right? You learn the most important part about it is, are you built for this? Do you this is something that you want to continue? That entrepreneurship, right? Are
It's a
you built for
grind.
it? Is this something that you want to do for the rest of your life?
Hmm. I, I mean, it's either that or you work for somebody else, right? I think that's how life. That's how life is. I'm saying you're gonna go hard for yourself, or you're gonna work for somebody else. You got to pick. It's like everything is hard. Everything you got to pick your hard, right? I mean, being broke is hard. Getting rich is hard. Working for somebody is hard. Working for yourself is hard. So you got to pick your hard. Pause.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true, Jay.
It is
Either
what it
way, it
is.
takes energy to do it, right? You just pick the energy you want to put what you want to
Right.
put it into.
Right. I mean, it's just the name of the game. You know. I was. I mean, that's one of the reasons why. Like boxing was like something that I ended up, wanting to put a lot of my energy into. For sure.
But even if that, Jay, 'cause even before that, cause this is like you going from the boxing into that, right? And it's like like fading away from the boxing, right? Fading away to the
Well,
boxing.
I ain't want to. That wasn't my go to at all. That was never my goal to fade away from boxing into the party scene. It was something that I should never.
That was your biggest distraction, you say?
Yeah, it's something that I should never done. Like they used to, like my coach, they used to be pissed that I was doing that. But I was, I'm young, I'm, ignorant, I'm just arrogant,
Who took to your first club? You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, Dave.
Yeah, Dave was a wild boy.
Yeah, I ain't
My
like
God.
clubbing.
Dave was a wild. This was a wild time I remember back
Yeah, I ain't,
then.
I ain't like clubbing at low, which is crazy. And it,
Because they were in
because
the club all the time.
because I got you are who you keep yourself around.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I ain't like clubbing. I wasn't drinking or nothing. Uh, I was that my whole life was boxing, and I was like, yeah, I got to make this boxing shit. So that's just what it was. So I remember one time, my block I used to be on. These guys used to party a lot, and it used to be like 30, like 30 people, like 30 dudes going out, and like all the time, consistent, like on a like party. Like it was like when I say party, I'm like, if it's 30 dudes, it's 30 bottles of Henny, and this is in Midtown, and like in the most popping clubs in the city. Like it was crazy. The energy was nuts. And I remember my man was like, "Yo, let's go out," and I'm like, "Nah, I don't. That's not my thing." I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Nah, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. He was like, "Nah, come. You ain't got to drink or nothing." And I ended up going, and I didn't drink. I didn't drink. I still, I was chilling, being around this atmosphere for the first time. I was like kind of just, just there, bobbing my head, saying, okay, this is cool, whatever. Didn't drink. The next time we went out, we did it again. I didn't drink, and I never was asking to go. He'd be like, "Yo, let's go out, man. Let's go. Everybody going out. Come on, come on." And I ended up going again, and I didn't drink. And probably like the third time, but I'm like, come on, man. I don't feel like going out. Whatever place you got to spend money, and all this kind of stuff. So this is how I'm thinking. I'm like, I got the gym. I spend money. I'm good. I don't want to go. Yo, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's gonna be popping. I'm telling you, it's gonna be popping. It's gonna be crazy. Ah, all right, go, whatever. Boom. I ended up knowing a lot of people that was going, whoop, whoop. And one day we ended up going. It didn't take that much. It was a few parties, and I was like, I ended up having a drink, and I had a really good time. I was like, whoa, I never got drunk or nothing like that. That just wasn't me. But I ended up having a good time. And that shit ended up like just I went back, and every time I started to drink more. Every time I was drinking, I was having a lot more fun. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. It got to a point where we was having nights where not even I got to a point where it was like we was fiending to go out. We was like, oh my God, like what we doing today? What we doing? Like it was just crazy.
I never look at it that way. I always wanted to make money out of it. I never got drunk inside of a club.
Yeah, you don't drink.
No, I've never gotten drunk inside of a
You
club. That's the
don't drink.
craziest
We
part. That's
got
weird to hear from a person that goes into a
yeah,
club, right? You go in there to drink and have a good time. I've never got drunk inside of a club.
yeah,
I wanted to say, I always want to be aware of that also too. Like if y'all drinking, I ain't want to be the one that's like falls asleep behind
yeah.
anything.
Ended up having a lot of fun, but it ended up being a really big distraction for me and what I was doing with boxing and stuff like that. I thought I could balance it. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I could train every day. Boom, boom. But it was a big distraction.
I want to get into more to your story about the boxing and how you got involved into boxing. Like besides Buddha, I know your story about Buddha and the PAL, but about the coach, how you met your first coach and what really
Mm,
sparked that fire and for you to
yeah. So
continue going. Because I mean, who
which
really in their right state of mind want to go to a place you're gonna get hit in your head every day and go be happily to go the next day to get hit again and then happier the next day to go. What really sparked that?
yeah, facts. I don't even know, to be honest. Well, first off, planting seeds. We was talking earlier about something about planting seeds, right? It's like traveling, planting seeds. My pops and them used to always be like, "Yo, you gonna be a fighter." My pops always used to plant that seed. I'm like, I'm not boxing. Like that's how I always be. I'm not boxing. You crazy? I'm not gonna mess up my face. I'm not gonna get punched in my face. That's how I always used to, respond to that. And I said that, but again, planting them seeds, man. I remember them saying that. I remember him saying that. And my father had like ropes in the crib. He had a boxing robe when I was a kid, like 3 years old. Like I remember seeing like the robe. I used to put his robe on. He had these the rope um boxing rope. So he was like he was in,
Did he ever box, Jay?
he wanted to get into it. He loved boxing um back in the day, and he did like boxing because he never like boxed, had a match, but he said all his matches was in the streets.
Yeah, he was a wild
Yeah,
one,
that's
Jay.
what he said. He didn't want to get into it. He had he had the boxing robe and all of that kinds. He got pictures as young, like with the boxing stand with the robe. He was into it, but just didn't find the right coach and stuff. Um, so he always used to put it on me, like, "Yo, you're gonna box," and I'm like, I'm not boxing, but I was a kid. So that's one thing: is getting those seeds planted into your kids, right? Growing up, I ended up meeting some friends that fought. Whatever you are, you keep yourself around, and I ended up going to this gym, PAL, in East New York. Ended up meeting this coach. His name was Ray. And it was crazy. It was a crazy experience because again, it was my first time in a boxing gym, and it smelled like just dirty socks, and it just stunk, and it felt like gritty, and you hear the people, the guys in there hitting the bag, and it was a younger crowd in there, so it was cool. I remember the first time I went into the gym, he made me spar. He made me spar Buddha. Buddha at the time was already, he was fighting, he was sparring, he was already boxing, and Buddha. I remember Buddha cracking me. I remember I remember that punch like it was yesterday because there's certain things that you remember. Is like this is my first time getting hit by a boxer, crack, boom. But I stood there, I fought, and when I got out, even though I did terrible, I felt good. I was like, wow, it was like it was crazy. My bells rung. It was a feeling that I never really kind of felt before. You know what I mean? It was like
A spark and adrenaline.
it was a crazy adrenaline, but it was a feeling that I never felt before when I got out that ring.
They made you maybe got baptized that day, born again boxer.
Yeah, it was crazy because I did like like fighting back, like getting hit and like hearing the coach like move your head and move forward and like just push yourself, whatever the case may be, whatever. Um, just having that was pretty dope. It was like I never felt that, and right there it tested me as well. Like it was like if I quit, I'm a bitch, like that kind of feeling. And I loved it. Ended up going back the next day. I remember going home, and my mom she saw my shirt. My shirt was like mad blood on it, and she was like, "You learning how to box, or they beating the shit out of you?" She was pissed. She was like, "What's going on?" Remember, I just started like 14 years old, so I came back home late night because we used to go at like 6, 7 o'clock. I used to get home like at almost 10. And I came home at 10 with this bloody t-shirt. She's like, "What is going on? You learning over there? This was your first." I was like, "It's my first day." So, um, it was it was there. I ended up
Did she ever tell you to quit after that?
nah, man. My parents, they always supported. They always supported whatever I wanted to do. She was always nervous about it. She was like, "You really like it?" Like, yeah. And that was that. She
That's
never.
important. If you got supporting parents, you can do anything in life.
Yeah, I never had parents that. My mom, like this man, my mom never shot none of my dreams down, no matter what I did. Um, even if no matter what I did, no matter what I did, she
Whether it
never.
was right, I bet I know for a fact. Me knowing Ruth deal with it. Whether it was right or wrong, she always had your back no matter what.
Yeah, yeah, facts. And that was one thing for sure. She was just like, "All right, cool. If you want to do it, just put your all into it." And that's just what it was. So it was in East New York. Being consistent from that point on, I was going to the gym every day, which is crazy. Every day, like everything shifted for me.
But you said you met your coach was his Ray. How did you get into Coach Cal then? How did that bring?
Go,
How do you meet Cal's? That
going to that gym all the time. I ended up uh, in one time in Brooklyn. Me and Hazel was walking down some block, and it was in this. I think it was South Side, North Side. I don't remember. I think it was the South Side of Brooklyn, and there was a new gym that just had like popped up out of nowhere.
did it smell like sock and balls in there?
Hell no, it was yeah, no, it didn't. It was new, and that was another thing. Like newness always like
Ain't
attracts you.
nothing like no.
So I
Ain't nothing
walked
like
in,
new.
it was this big ass ring. All the equipment in there was new. Like the wall, I'm like, damn, this shit. It was only like two people in that bitch, and I'm like, damn, this shit is fire. And I met the owner, and Kel was in there, but I didn't know Kel. But I ended up wanting to go there. I ended up wanting to go there when I met the owner. I was like, I want to try that. I ended up wanting to go there because Hazel lived around that neighborhood. I was like, man, this would be cool if I could come over here. And I was like hanging out in Hazel's neighborhood. Like it was her, but then I was hanging around with all her cousins, and I was like, that was like my new spot. So I was like, damn, it'd be dope if I could train here and then just like go over there when
Mhm.
I'm done. And so I ended up going over there, and I liked it. It was dope. I ended up training one time, and Kel was there. Kel was training himself. He never trained nobody, and he saw me hitting the bag. He gave me some tips. Make a long story short, he ended up asking the coach at the time. He's like, "Yo, you mind me training him?" Okay, he's like, "Yo, do what you want." Yeah,
He had any experience prior to that?
nah, nah. He knew he just like trained himself. He never fought or anything like that,
So
but
what
he
made you want to go with him then if he had no
he
experience?
sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
Oh, the power of convincing, right?
Yeah, he
Convinced
just
you.
sounded like he knew what he was talking about. He had a lot of posture about what he was saying, and he just sounded like he knew what
And
he
your
was talking
gut
about.
told you to do it, right? More
Yeah,
than
it
anything
just
else.
felt right. It was like
Mhm.
the connection was like
Because
womb, like
at the end of the day, even you starting something, you want somebody with experience to guide you to that,
right.
and for you to make that jump to that, he had to be very
So
convincing.
so it was like different things he was teaching me that Ray wasn't teaching me. Ray had more of a like a old it was like an old fashioned trainer. Like it was just an old fashioned trainer. Like Ray, one of his fighters was Junior Jones. That's like his.
Best style legend, right, Jay?
That was like his. That was his pride and joy. One of his pride and joy. So he had some champions, but it was like this old fashioned trainer. And Kel had like this new style. You know what I mean? Like just like throwing punches from angles, and um, he was just teaching me different things. I was like, yo, this is dope. I like this style. It was a younger energy. So that's how we kind of linked from that point on. I ended up going to that gym, and then one time I ended up going back to my gym. Um, Danny Jacobs was in there. Danny Jacobs at that time was like 14, 13. And Danny, I ended up, I had a lot of respect for Danny because he was that young, but he was another kid that was like nationally ranked, beating everybody ass. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, you know, I found another trainer. I don't know if I should leave this gym because of Ray. I started. He was like, yo, first off, Jay, if I was you, if you feel right about the other trainer, this is your. I remember he was young but wise. And I was like, this is your career. This is your life. If you feel good about the other trainer, you should go with him.
He was prep since he's young then to get to that next level.
He
14, right? Telling you this.
young. And he did
What
it
made you go to even ask him for that advice? A 14-year-old kid.
because he was young, and I looked up to him.
They
Like
about the same age.
I think he's a little younger than me. It's like a
Mm.
year or two younger than me. So,
Mm.
been at that time, it's like real, like you're teenagers, like young, but he did a lot in the sport at that time. Like everybody was talking about him. This is the time when Saddam Ali, all these guys were like, all in all the
Yeah,
tournaments,
golden glove time,
all
right?
that. Like there was nationals, like nationally ranked and all that kind of stuff. They was fighting out of like Curtis and them. Like Curtis was going flying out to Cali and all that. Coming back, going to school. That's how Danny and them was. That's what Danny was. So
They're from the same team. They're from the same neighborhood. From
same,
from
yeah, they was
Starlight.
all that,
From
right? So at that time, Danny was fighting in Howard boxing, them
mm.
P's over there. So he had a lot of respect. A lot of people spoke, very, very like highly of him. And
Do you see it in him back then? Do you see that champ in him?
yeah, yeah, I did, I did, I did. I was like, this kid's gonna be. He was nasty at that time, and he was like at a young age, and
But
then
it's like that having that it factor, right? The it factor is the speaking. That's the number
well,
one.
they
Knowing
like
how to sell yourself. Be able
but
to.
at that time I was too young to understand that, right?
Mm,
But his skills spoke for him in that ring. He was
mm.
nice at that for his age. He was nice. It was a lot of kids like that was nice. I was like Curtis and them, like seeing these guys like when I was into the gym and seeing you can see the difference when they spar other guys, and like you can see like the level of skill. It was just like out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can see Kurt. I remember meeting Curtis in high school. Our first day, he got his back was this wide. Jay,
Yeah, yeah.
big. Bro.
Why?
It's like
Why back?
how can you compete against
Pause.
that?
Shit. I'm saying pause. I was just watching this Dave Dash shit. It was clipped a
Yeah,
bunch of clips saying pause.
nobody who can outpause Dame, right?
So yeah, man. But Danny told me, yo, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. But I never told Ray nothing. I just like never came back to the gym, and I would
He
just
didn't
work.
take that lightly, right there, my boy, a champ. I probably
One
knows like he's
time,
a champ.
I'm jogging on Bushwick. I'm jogging. I'm not thinking I'm gonna see Ray ever. I, beep beep. Yo Jay. Hey, yo Jay. He used to talk mad funny. Yo Jay. He opened up the window. Yo Jay. What you doing out here? You jogging? You went to another gym on me? I was like, what you talking about? I was like, yo Ray, man, how you feeling? He was like, yeah, man, how you been, man? What's going on? You're not coming back to the gym? I said, nah, Ray. I got another coach, Ray. He said, all right. He said, good luck, kid. I was like, damn, all right, I got that out the way. I felt like
That's
shit
hard. It's
when
like breaking up, right, Jay?
yo,
Breaking up with
I
a
was like,
girl.
damn, nah, that was like that sucked, but I had to do it. You know, who know? But you never know. You don't know what happens, right? But Ray, everything happens for a reason. I got my first fight with Ray and all of that. It was dope. It was definitely dope. But yeah, it got with Kel, and it was history from there on out, man. Me and Kel went to. I ended up going to a bunch of gyms, and it's crazy how full circle. Kel didn't know none of those guys, but uh, Kurt, well, maybe he did, but remember he wasn't a trainer, right? But Danny and all of them. But look what happened. Full circle. Now I'm in Starry City all the time sparring these guys. So I went from working with Ray and like seeing these guys, but now I ended up going to messing with Kel, and now I'm sparring all the time in Starlight, and I'm meeting all these fighters from all over the city.
But he's making this happen, or you helping him do it?
Kel is
Oh, so
Kel is
he was determined to make it happen.
yeah, yeah. I was his first fighter in all that, and say we ended up going to Starlight all the time and other gyms, man. And we was definitely making it happen, man. He had a lot of determination. He sacrificed a lot. A lot of money came out of his own pocket,
He
and
believed in you
yeah,
100%.
he believed in me, and
He
that's
always
just what it
says. I
was.
mean, I always remember him saying that you his first champ.
Yeah,
That you that
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy to have that. It was like this big bro, situation too, because he put a lot of, just being around him, he was giving me a lot of game and always, spoke wisdom in me, and it was dope. It was really dope to have that kind of, that kind of
what was the big
person around you.
what was the biggest lesson boxing taught you?
Life, man. Uh, No matter how many times you fall down, get back up. Life is hard. Boxing is hard. Consistency. You to be great, you got to be consistent with anything that you're doing. Everything is practice. Every time you're doing something is practice, and um, uh, mindset. It's like everything is about. It's really the mind. Like you win up here before you win with this, and if you can't control this, then nothing else matters. If you can't control your mind, then it's not going to happen for you. I think boxing helps you. Uh, Sports a lot of the times, of boxing is like it was different because you got to control your mind, you got to control your anger, you got to control your feelings in that gym, your emotions in that ring. If once you let your emotions get the best of you, you lose. And it was something that was probably needed. I think God put it in my life at the right time.
But it's like for the last few days you've been at the gym. What sparked that again in you, Jay? What sparked that? What made that?
Yeah,
What brought that fire back into you? Wanted to go back into the gym. Wanted to go
I
back into the ring.
I had a talk with somebody yesterday. Oh no, today. I had a talk with somebody today, and what was the question?
What sparked that again for you to want to go
Oh,
back to train and go back in
so
the ring again
man, I had a
after
talk.
all these years?
I had a talk with somebody today, and I was like, "Yo, the reason why I went back, one of the biggest reasons why I went back was Jonas. Like, I want to get him into the fighting game, but I want you walk people. They don't do what you say they do. They do what you do, right? And I want to show him like because I always told him I'll show him videos of me like fighting in tournaments and boxing stuff or whatever. And he was like, "Daddy, that's you. That's you." I was like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Damn, I want to get him in. I don't want to just take him to the gym. I want to get it. I want to get in shape. Woo, woo." So first things first, I ended up wanting to get back into it to get him into it to show him what dad looks like when he's working hard, when he's hitting the bag. Just getting him in that mode, getting him around other people, right? That's why I ended up inviting like Will and whoever else is that got coming in. He's just getting around that kind of energy. So that's number one is getting my son in that mix. Two was I think I'm in a time in my life right now when I'm in a time in my life where I'm 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 re I'm not rebranding, but I'm rebuilding everything. And like I said earlier today, sometimes you need to go back to the beginning, to ground zero. You need to go back to ground zero to find who you are, to find you again, right? Like not who you are, but to find you again. And I think boxing is one of the biggest one of the biggest things in my life where I was like, okay, let me get back into this game and I need to find me again. I need to fucking feel the pain again. I need to feel that I need to do this consistently. I need to grow and I need to learn. I need to get control of my mind again. Really, it's just real talk. Again, life is full of peaks and valleys, and what better place to do it, but inside that ring and have somebody else throwing punches at you. Fighting through the pain that you feel, the tiredness that you feel, being fatigued and still fighting through that. Getting hit. Me and Willis sparred, and that was my first time sparring in 15 years. Now you got to understand, Willis been training for a long time now, and he's in the gym every like I think 4 times a week or whatever the case may be. But he's sparring guys, he's sparring pros, he's sparring amateurs. He just had his first amateur fight, so he's moving. His body is active. His body's active. I see. I need to get this. I need. Like he was the best person to hit up and like let's work. So we end up sparring, and it was crazy because I'm like, my body couldn't move. Like I seen everything coming, but I see everything coming, but my body is like, it's not reacting the way I wanted to react. Even though I see certain punches, I could throw a punch. I see where I could land, and I try to throw it. And I'm like 5 seconds late. You know what I mean? Like, my timing is off, my balance is off, my movement is off. I can't even like, like just like everything was off. So, um, doing like sparring like that and doing like it's just like I'm knocking the rust off. I'm knocking the mental, the mental rust, the cobwebs, everything, bro. It's going back to ground zero and figuring out your body again. It's the best thing, bro. You should do it. You should get back. You should get in the gym, bro, and really and work out and get that boxing workout. It does so much for you. So that's one of the biggest reasons. The reason why I went back is for my son, and
Yeah.
second for me to find me again, to to feel that fire, to feel that pain again, to fight through that pain. And you never know, I may get back in shape and really feel good about what I'm doing, and I don't know, opportunity may present itself and may want to get back in the ring. So it ain't like, I mean, the game has changed now. The game's changed. The boxing game is different now. The boxing game is different now. This shit is really turning into entertainment.
Because it is.
Hmm.
Look at
I
the
mean,
fight coming up. The
yeah,
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. It's not about records and titles. It's about who can make the most money.
yeah.
And why not?
I mean, look at, I mean,
Why
talk
not?
like
Why not get back in there? Why not
facts.
take it? Because this is something that this is a childhood dream you always wanted.
Always.
So why not push? Why not? You're not Jay. You're not dead.
You know what's crazy? Mike told me one time, Jack, excuse me. Mike was like, "Yo, go back and do what you want to do. Like if boxing is on your mind, go back and do it." He used to tell me this years ago, right? A couple years ago, that go back and
But
do it.
I remember even before that, Jay. Before that, you that was your number one goal. Because I remember when you told me was when we first started doing network marketing. You was like, "This is going to give me the money to continue that."
Yeah. But then when you get the money, you're like, you don't want to work that hard. Right? It's like,
Mm.
I don't want to
Got comfortable.
I don't, yeah, I don't want, I'm loving what I'm eating. I'm loving where I'm going. I'm loving what I'm doing. It's free. I don't have to fight. I don't, because boxing is a broke man sport, right? It is what it is, right? Boxing is a broke man sport. It's people that don't have nothing that could turn their life into something, right? It's for that person that, like, is from zero to hero, and you need a lot of heart, a lot of passion. You need to find that reason why to do it, and sometimes when you got who in their right mind wants to fight,
That's why I asked. What
right?
made you want to go back to the gym the next
Right.
day?
Who well, it's now it's a passion, like all these. I mean, look at Danny Jacobs right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's back in the ring. I mean, he's back in the gym training. Like, you got people, once it's in you, it's in you.
Mhm.
Right? It's like, and it's like no other feeling. If you never felt like coming out and everybody screaming, you just don't understand. When if you never felt like dropping somebody, or just getting off and winning, and it was you that did that, like, it's no other feeling. And I do miss it. So talking about, like, the game has changed. You got Ryan and Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
Or the
The
hype.
casual boxing fans like love Ryan. They like Ryan. They're like, oh man, he's so fast. He's like, man, shut up. I think Ryan is. I had posted a video today about with Bradley. He had said that Ryan is not no boxer. He's a celebrity. You know, and it is what it is. That's okay. And but
And it's true. I look at it the same way too, because I don't think he really wants to do that. He's a pretty ass human being. Like, you know what I mean? And he just want to get paid. And he
he
found
just,
an avenue how to get paid. And he not only paid, get super rich.
yeah,
And
yeah,
why not use it
and
for that?
it's probably something that I'm sure he had a passion for it, because obviously he's been boxing since forever.
But you think it's more of a passion or more of just a dream to get to that money? Because if you really look at it, passion, who's like the most passionate fighter you know?
Floyd Mayweather,
And he trains
right now,
he trains like he always said he trained like he's broke, right, Jay?
yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, that's one of the passionate fighters, but Floyd to be, but yeah, I mean, passion, because and I'll say that because he's fought amateurs. Him and Haney fought 6 times in the
and
amateurs.
they 3-3, right?
Yeah. But the amateurs is different. The amateurs, and Haney is not the same. Obviously, they both not the same fighters. Let's get that right. Because they both grew up, but Haney has grown so much more in the boxing world. It's not even funny. Like, skill wise, He's just a whole different animal.
The competition is
Yeah,
a lot
it's
different. He
a
fought
whole different,
fighters.
whole different animal. That kid is growing, and he's he's one of the best. So, yeah, the Ryan, he's supposed to be making like 80 to $100 million for this.
That's a lot of money.
That's crazy. I think he's going a little crazy right
Nah,
now on social media. But
wow.
I think all of this was type of like I seen a I think with or
Well,
Oscar today, and Oscar, they asked Oscar, yeah, how you think Ryan is doing? He was like, oh, I spoke to Ryan. He's doing great. He's going.
he's his promoter,
He's
Jay. He ain't gonna be talking no
but
other
he did
shit.
make sense though. He did make sense. He said, oh, he's in camp right now, and he's got I think 5 to 6 weeks. He's gonna be in camp for 5 to 6 weeks. That's what you need to get ready for a fight. Like really to lock in, 5 6 weeks. That's what most people do. He did it right on time, just like Oscar. I don't know, but Oscar did have a point. He was like, "Yo, it's right on time. Like now he's at camp. That's it." So he probably did all of this shit, all this bullshit to like amp the fight up, or
Selling it, right?
selling the fight. Who knows?
Mhm.
The only thing with Devin is Devin. I hope Devin ain't letting none of this shit get to him. But again, it's 5 6 weeks. Devin is locked in as well. So, he did confuse a lot of people.
He got to turn that social media off these next 5 to 6
Yeah,
weeks.
that's all. That's all you. That's
Because
all you got
I
to do.
mean, because it's like Bill Haney said, it's all a mental warfare. Like he's
That's
really
all.
he's trying to mind fuck him before anything else.
That's what Mike talks about in the book. This whole shit is mental. That's what Castamato taught Mike about. Like this shit is, you beat the fighter outside of the ring before you beat him in the ring.
That Muhammad Ali, right?
Yeah, you beat you, and that's how life. That's life. That's life, bro. You can't get beat up here. You know what I mean? And that's with anything that we do. That's anything that we do. You gotta, and that's what Mike. Whenever you hear like Mike talk and about just the books that he read, like the Art of War, 48 Laws of Power, like all this kind of shit. That's what life is, man. You gotta fucking go into it, like that. That's boxing. He says he read up on all the warriors in the world, Alexander the Great, all this kind of stuff. That's what life is, bro. So Ryan, if Ryan is if Ryan is promoting the fight, he's doing a great job doing it. If I don't know all the other bullshit that's going on and what he said, I think because what he said, he took things to the extreme.
Yeah, he went a little too far, a little too far.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, you
that
don't even
just
want to say it. You
you
don't
ain't
even want
you're not promoting the fight
by saying that.
going over there to that side of town. I don't know what got into him.
I don't know.
That's a little tricky. I don't even want to. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah,
That's the next level.
he won't be in the talks of the greats after this one.
No, but there's never been in the talks of greats. See, you got to have a record for that. You got to beat the fighters to beat the great. See?
Yeah.
So what I think he's doing is, I think he's just trying to cash out now because he's taking these big fights, cash out now and just chill.
Yeah.
Because what else could he got to do? What else
He
do?
could cash out after this one.
I'm trying to say he fought Tank, he got paid. Now he's fighting Haney. The next one up. Who's after him? What other big fight is out there after Haney?
He's calling Tank for a rematch.
That makes no sense. It don't make no sense. Even it don't make sense for Tank to take it if Tank wants to get paid.
Yeah.
But it makes no sense. Tank got to go into the next. He got to go up in weight.
Yeah.
He got to go into
what 140.
140.
But he fought at 140 already.
But his natural weight.
But to fight Ryan at 140, Ryan is a walk in the park.
Now Ryan is no competition to him. But what's the next one? You got to move up in weight. You got to get to that 140 and go conquer 140. But isn't Haney going up to 140 too?
Isn't this fight at 140?
140, right? Yeah, so they could fight. That's a mega fight. But
Tank and
Haney.
That
but
would be great.
It's like the setup. How I look at it is like that mess with him and AB. So after this, the next fight is AB because they're all boys. That's all.
I don't think that's happening.
It could happen, Jay. Because what's next? Who else? Nobody wants to fight him.
But who?
I mean, like, what's the next one for Haney?
But no, who the fuck want to fight AB?
Money. It's a money thing.
Yeah, but it's a money thing. But it's more of a chance. It's more, first and foremost, I think Haney will win.
He'll watch it.
But it's more of a risk, and nobody cares about AB right now.
He could sell a fight, Jay.
He can't, and I think that right there could sell the fight.
You can sell a fight.
That right
Who talks more
I
shit
would
than
like to
AB?
see the fight. I would like to see that.
But I don't really like watching. Right? I don't think AB's the same fighter he was when he first started.
No, hell no, he's not.
So it's what are we gonna
But I
watch?
would like to see it because the shit talking that's happening right now.
Building the fight.
He still got it. He still
Fight. He can still
can
fight. He can still fight, but it's just that next one bang, and then from there you start talking about the tanks. Yeah, I mean, I don't see no fight against Shakur because Shakur, nobody really wants to watch him. He's too boring watching.
He's the most boring fight.
Yeah,
fighter
he don't
I've
throw
ever
punches.
seen.
He's like over analyzing. That shit is just straight boring. And I mean, he been talking that shit too. Shakur calling him out.
Yeah,
Payday, Jay. They want to get paid.
that's all. That's all they want. That's
money.
all
They want to make the money up front now because they probably think about what's the next move.
I don't know. I think that's what makes the game kind of like trash. That's what makes the game kind of whack right now. Because
the game of boxing, Floyd changed it because he's seen that him and De La Hoya really showed you how much money you can make if you go this route. Because he picked a lot of he picked his. I'm talking about Floyd, how he designed his career. He could design his career for that.
But he fought everybody.
But he designed his career for that. He lined everybody up the way it's supposed to be lined up, Jay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He lined up his career. He picked the right at the right time, the right fights, and he made $1 billion doing it. So everybody think they could do that.
Who?
Everybody think they could do that.
But he was fighting.
Yeah,
he was fighting.
And
that's my thing. They think they could do it, but who they fighting? Mm. Who they fighting?
But who's out there to fight though, Jay? What names are out there? What names can you, what fighter you see out there that could have someone buy 1 million pay-per-views? That's what the money's at. The money's the back end money. Who you see out there? Because they're selling these fights at $100, right? Who's gonna be out there selling 1 million pay-per-views? There's no names out there like that.
If we talking about pay-per-view stuff, selling the fight,
that's why writing is so important in this game.
Right, he's selling, yeah. But
Tank never seen the numbers he's seen before, Ryan.
No. His last fight, he made a lot of money. I think he made like 100.
Nah, no, Jay, I don't think so. $100 million.
I heard he made a lot of. I heard he made a lot of money.
$100 million is a lot.
Who he fought last?
Wasn't it Ryan?
I think so. Yeah, I think he made.
Remember, he got after Ryan. He went into all that legal trouble. He was wilding out. Now he's getting back into the ring.
Let's see. It's crazy. Look, I got Mike Tyson's about to fight Jake Paul, and I googled earlier. He's 57 years old.
Yeah, he's gonna be 58 by the time he fights.
50.
When that fight comes up, he's gonna be 58 years old.
Crazy.
He's 30 years older than Paul.
Did you see? There's a video surfacing of him training. Man, he's an animal still. Mike is an animal. If Mike breaks the if Mike breaks the rules, he gonna knock him out.
Nah, he could, but it's exhibition, so they just out there to get paid.
Mike better break the rules.
He's out there to get paid, my boy. Even though exhibition, even with the commission, they cannot rule a winner inside the ring. They got to step out because it's an exhibition. That's crazy how that works, right?
Yeah,
they all step out. All the judges. Yeah, they bring in their own people for the exhibition.
Yeah,
because it's not qualified.
They called this an exhibition.
It's an exhibition. It's an exhibition
because the age and
it's called money getting paid.
Well, here we go. 100 million, bro.
Who made 100 million?
Wait. No, Ryan made 100 million for that fight.
You think so?
I'm reading it right now.
Those are accurate numbers.
Ryan Garcia has disclosed that his mega fight against Gervonta Davis on April 22 made over 100 million in revenue. 100 million in revenue.
And they got to split that.
Yeah. So, which is still a lot.
They sold over 1 million pay-per-views, Jay.
30 million. He made 30 million for that fight.
Yeah, over 100 million.
Garcia made 30 million for that Tank fight.
And Tank was the A side. The split wasn't
Ryan,
fit. You think the split was
Ryan made
50-50?
30. Ryan made 30. Tank made more.
It wasn't 50-50 that split, right?
Nah, I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah, Dan, that's crazy. That's a lot of
So
money.
who doesn't
And
want
these
to
guys,
fight, Jay?
these guys are young. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I'm coming back to the game.
You
I'm
can do it.
coming.
You can do it.
I'm coming back to
You
the
can
game
do it,
for
Jay.
sure.
You can do it.
You know, um, it's
I
just a
mean,
lot.
now with what you know now, it should be a lot easier for you, like to get into that shape. The mindset is the
Hmm.
most important part. You
That's the
got.
biggest thing. That's the
Hmm.
biggest thing. Mindset. Definitely know what I know now. I feel like I mean, obviously, I do know more than what I did, back then. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm prepping Jonas to be champ by 20 years old. To be world champion by 20 years old.
Yeah, I see it happening.
It can happen.
Of course,
It can happen. It can happen.
I see it. I can see it
He
from now. And then, I mean, by that time,
he.
imagine 15 years from now, the game is different. So,
Hmm.
number one thing is building up his social media, right? Building him a presence that he got what it takes. He's great on camera. He's a great looking kid. He got everything to make it happen. And he likes to fight, right? He likes boxing, right?
He likes it. I'm still figuring out. He likes it. He likes it,
How about
but I
does he
don't know if he
complain?
likes it because I like him doing it. I don't know if
I
it's
mean, he's too
that.
young to know,
That's what I'm
Jay.
saying. But he likes it, and like just yesterday we did like we started to do powers, and now I'm starting to put like um combinations together, and he did like a 9-10 punch combination yesterday. And when he was done with it, he goes, "Woo!" Like he gets really excited about it. So he definitely feels himself getting better, and I think he likes to see himself improve, which is dope. He's 5 years old, man. I've been messing with him with the boxing since like 3, probably younger than that. But now is when we kind of like stepping up and bringing him to the gym, and like, it's really dope to see. It's dope to see, and I'm talking to him right now, about I'm just putting like, yo, you got greatness inside. The other day I had a talk with him, and I was like, yo, you know, I was just saying, yo, you have greatness in you, right? You have, and he was just looking at me, and we had like a serious talk, and I was like, you could be anything that you want in this world. You could be champion. This and that, but it's gonna take a lot of confidence, and you have that. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you and everything that you do right now. I'm proud of you. He like started to choke up. He's 5 years old.
So he felt that energy.
He felt it.
I was listening to an interview, right, when it comes to that, like especially when it comes to the greatness part, right? About Ronaldo, the soccer player,
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo, and his kid is a crazy prospect because he's really good, his
Mm.
oldest, and they asked him about him, and he's like, he got everything it takes, but he's missing the one part, right? And it's the mental part because what I argue with him the most is taking cold showers to rejuvenate your body, like
Yeah.
that, to get back to get the muscles right again, and he misses that part out, and that's
Mm.
a very important part of it to get to that next level is being able to go through that cold shower
Mm.
to get to the greatness.
Mm.
Most people skip that part, and
Mhm.
that's here. It's having the mental part right on it. Because that cold shower is a mental part.
Yeah.
Because you fighting yourself here before you
Right.
get into the shower.
Right.
I mean, right into the cold water. Because once you get into the cold water, your body's gonna adapt as soon as
Facts.
possible.
Yeah.
Your body's meant to adapt in any situation. So he was talking about that is the mind part. So you work with him now with the mind part.
That's
No one can stop him.
that's my goal. That's what I want to do. And that's what I've been doing. And just talking to him like that, like, yo, you got greatness in you, and like he felt that, man. And seeing him feel that did a lot for me. It kind of like wowed me. I was like, yo, that's crazy. He really he seemed like he was about to cry, and then he gave me just a big hug, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna talk to him like this every day because I didn't think that he would even understand. Like I didn't.
Because they understand so much more, right? Because even with Liam, right? I be talking a bunch and I say something and I think he does not pay attention to me whatsoever because he just be in his own world. And you turn around, he knows everything. Yo, he got a crazy memory, Jay. His
Mm,
memory is like an elephant. Like He go to a place one time and he knows how to get back there.
That's crazy.
And he knows exactly his route. Like if I'm taking him somewhere and I make a turn, he's like, "Yo, you're going the wrong way."
Mm.
We we started a new gym, right?
That's how you are.
Yeah, I got
That's
that
crazy.
GPS. But his mother told me today that they was passing by the gym they go to because she could take him whenever. On Saturdays when he don't got school, she took him last Saturday because they take you they got a daycare for them. He been once, Jay. She told me I passed the gym and she says I don't even know where I'm at, and he's telling me let's go to the gym. We
Mm.
passed the gym. He only been there once.
Wow.
And it's like it amazes me how he knows that. And I'm like, and he's in his own world most of the time. He's not speaking anything, but how does he pick up? How do they pick that up?
Mm.
So they paying attention to us way more than what we
OD.
think.
Yeah.
And he knows it's like be careful.
OD.
It's careful, like okay, what you say around them,
Mm-hmm.
because he's like it's crazy how much they really pick up. I didn't know. I really never really paid
So
that much
much.
attention to like Liam. Liam really like showed me like, yeah, be careful what you say at home.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you are creating this human being
Yes.
now, and there's just choose lightly how you want him to come. How you
Yeah.
are like, it's just
Nah, that's
it,
that's
it's
so true. So true. Like I'm very careful. I'm very careful with what I say around Jonas. Even like just bringing him around like my family, like everybody sees that. Everybody sees that. I'm careful what I say around, but everybody else is too. It's just so different from how I grew up to like how we grew up and to like how the kids are growing up today. But like awareness is everything because you
mm,
got parents today that's living in today's world that still act like fucking animals around their kids,
mm.
and expect their kid to be great.
So they didn't grow up neither. They didn't grow up. I mean, they didn't understand that part. Man, they're skipping generations, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just vital. I mean, but we are times are way different though, Jay,
OD.
because they on an iPad and there's so much information coming into their
Little
life,
too much.
and it's more than what can. But you really can't take it away because you can't cut their wings because life is going towards that. So you can't just like okay, you got to stay off of this shit.
Yeah.
You got to stay off it because it's doing you, but it's not.
But that's why sports is so important.
Mhm.
Like to get them off that shit for a little while. Because you can't sit here and fucking be on this all day.
Yeah, and Liam is a little way too much. Like when I
That's
pick him up from school, he's looking for his like, yo, where's my phone?
that's how Jonas is, bro. Like it's just too much. With even with Fortnite right now, so he's going crazy with this damn game. He's when I say addicted to this shit, it's crazy. He as soon as he get home, be like, I'm doing my homework at 4 o'clock. Uh, what's his name? His friend is waiting for him to play the game.
Oh,
You know
he
what I mean?
got people online already playing with
Yeah,
him.
he's always playing with somebody. So he's like, um, John Paul is gonna wait for me. He's waiting for me. I gotta get on right now. I gotta get on right now.
But you, what do you give him any time limit towards it? Like towards the game? Like you give him like
Yeah, I mean, no. Now I'm taking it off. I'm taking it away, and now I'm putting structure down for him. Now it's like you got to do this before this, you got to do this, this, and this, and then you can play the game. And then at this time, you got to take a shower, right? So he come home from school, and now I got him just like doing homework, and then after homework, we got to train, and then he could play the game, and then he eat, then I'll put him, I'll take him shower and stuff. Well,
Okay.
he takes a shower.
I remember this, right? You know what's crazy? What's bringing me back right now? I remember when you and Hazel always talk that shit, talk about we ain't having no kids, right? How's fatherhood been, Jay? Like that these last 5 years of your life has been a different ballgame because
It's
you guys always you didn't want no kids
nah, it's crazy because man, he's a
because you a
blessing.
full time dad, Jay.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not easy, and it's a blessing, and I'm it's a I'm looking at him like I'm looking at him as I'm building up the next Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Serena Williams. Like that's how I put up a video today on my story about you know all, he said something about you know, Floyd Mayweather been like was told what to do since 7 years old. LeBron was told what to do. well, what he said, Michael Jackson was told what to do since a child. Serena Williams and them was told what to do when he was a child. Like all of these greats, Tiger Woods was told what to do since he was like 2 years old. Became one of the greatest golf players in the world. And when he said that, when I said that, I'm like, yo, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting in all of my um, everything that I felt. Well, I'm putting everything that I've learned later in my life into him now, so he could be 10, 20, 30 times better than what I am, and just like planting the seeds of him thinking big. And I'm telling him things like right now, it's like, yo, you're gonna buy, your grandma's a house, your father a house, your dad, your mom a house, you're gonna buy everybody a house, you're gonna buy it. Like he's saying, I could do this, and I could get that, and I could get a Lamborghini too. So I'm like putting all, and I say, yeah, you could do all of this with boxing. Like this is like how I'm like kind of like prepping him.
But do you think it's a
And
double-edged sword because maybe you putting your dreams on him? And do you think it's something
well,
because
no,
because
no,
it's
because I'm not like really. I'm not really. That's what I'm telling you. Is like I don't know if he likes it or doing it because he want me to do
you
it.
ever ask him?
Yeah, he says he likes it, but then he wants. I know he wants to please me as well. Like he wants to see me happy, right? And so
You know what I think a lot of times what will happen is
what
a lot of times maybe what that could be is that you taking away from his Fortnite time.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like even if he don't, I don't care. This is we're not here on earth to be little soft little fucking people, soft bitches. It just and oh do Fortnite all day or play video games. No, you don't have a hard life. When I grew up, I seen it all. Right? You seen like we grew up different than what the kids are growing up today. So we
Mm,
need to give them a little type of struggle. We need to give them some hardship somehow, some way, because life is fucking hard.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Life is hard, and that's like what I've been thinking about a lot. That's why I got into that. That's why I'm reading Mike Tyson book. That's why I just read the what's his name? Andre Ward's book, bro. That book is fire. And hearing his story and how he grew up, and his both his parents were drug addicts. Like he was moving around, and like how he started boxing as a kid, and his father was a dope head, and on and off dope, and like, but his father loved them. His father raised them, but he had demons that he was fighting, and so all of this, like his story was just crazy. Like just hearing how they grew. I'm like, yo, there's certain things that you need to implement in kids, and yeah, even if I'm putting my dreams on Jonas, um, yeah, at least I'm putting dreams on him, right?
Mhm.
And then we'll find out later if it's for him or not. But if it ain't for him, he gonna find his way. But at least
You putting structure down.
yeah, at least I'm putting some type of structure down, and that's
Mhm.
where it's at. Because I believe that he could be champ by 20 years old. You hear the Tank Davis champ at 20. Tank was super young when he became champ, 20 years old, I believe. Devin Haney, same thing. Mike Tyson was 20 years old. All these fighters,
The youngest
like,
heavyweight,
and
right?
forget becoming champ. We could get a shot to be in the Olympics. Forget being champ. Like we could like not forget being champ, but before the champ world title, we could be an Olympian. I could have Jonas on a fucking Wheaties box. That's how I'm thinking right now, and that's what I'm like. Like I'm playing in his head right now. I'm like, yo, you could be champ of the world. No, you know this, or you know that, right? You know that. Like I'll like just blurt things out
A
sometimes.
question when it comes to that, right? Let's say like they say you putting your dreams on him, right? You doing that mostly because that's what you know. Because if you would have been a doctor, that's what you've been
Yeah,
plant. That's the plant. That's the
yeah,
seed you would have been planting at
yeah.
home. So it's
Yeah,
what you know.
basketball player.
Yeah,
You know
basketball.
what I mean? Anything. So again, this is what I know. This is what he's around. This is what he watches. If I'm watching a fight, he's gonna watch a fight. Sometimes he don't be want to watch a fight. But I tell him like, yo, look, this kid is young. Watch him. Listen, look at him, and he'll like catch it. So it's just planting them seeds again. Because I remember those times where I was growing up, and my family got excited to see Mike Tyson fight when we were
Those
kids.
events, Jay.
The De La Hoyas and the Trinidad back then. You know what I mean? All that, like growing up to see those fight. I remember those events with the family watching these fights. That energy, like you don't forget things like that. So like I was showing Floyd Mayweather now. I would like play a video of Floyd Mayweather fight, and he was like, "Who's that?" I'll say, "That's the greatest boxer you will ever see in your life. His name is Floyd Mayweather. His swag is crazy in the ring." And he was like, "Oh, I like." And so I'm putting him on, so he knows certain fighters. Tank is his favorite fighter, right? Tank is his favorite fighter. He always remembers Tank dropping Ryan Garcia with a body shot. That's why he always throw body shots because he sees the game. So it's like planting that in him. So right now he's on, like when he goes on the game, like today, or yesterday when he got on the game, and he was like, "Hey, John Paul," and John Paul, his friend, and John Paul was like, "Where are you? Where you been at?" He said, "My dad had me boxing, but I'm here." You know what I mean? So it's like
I'm back.
I'm back, but I'm boxing.
A lot of the time, these parents, that's their babysitters,
Yeah,
Jay.
exactly. I'm not gonna turn Jonas into a zombie. You know, that's my thing. I'm not gonna. Jonas is gonna have something to talk about. He gonna get around those groups, and even the I don't care. Look, I do care, but even if Jonas doesn't become a world champion as a professional, the experience that he will gain in the amateurs fighting across America,
In the
across the
United States.
U.S. Across the U.S. in these different tournaments, meeting kids that has dreams, that's only going to inspire him. He's only going to get around other kids that's going to like amp him up and oh, you know, yeah, yeah, all of that. So you are right, all of that. So that's where it's at, and I'm seeing all of that now. It's like, and look at Anthony, Carmelo Anthony's son, right? It's like
He's
you
good.
seen
He's
him
good.
grown. I remember seeing him grow. Now look at him. You know, LeBron's kids too, but I don't know. I think I got more of a not connection, but
Like
like
come in New
look at
York.
like Carmelo, looking at
New
Carmelo,
York.
his son grow. I'm like, yo, that's fire. You know, seeing
But
him
he's good,
dive
Jay.
into
He's
it. Yeah,
good,
he's
guys.
good.
He's real good.
He's good. So that's a big thing. And I advise anybody out there that got kids, man,
And
put
it's
them
true
into
because
something.
they say the number one thing with those guys is like Kobe, right? It's like he says the number one thing was is like the most important thing is teaching them footwork, right?
Yeah.
The footwork. So
Hmm.
you already got the blueprint down. It's
Yeah.
just giving him the
Yeah.
blueprint. I mean,
Which is crazy with that footwork. He's funny to say that because I just put up a video with him trying doing footwork, and that's like it's important, man. Just or coordination, all that kind of stuff. I'm having fun teaching him, and I'm having fun seeing him just grow in it. Like
and that teaching is gonna might maybe put you back in that ring.
yeah. But that's why I'm in the ring right now. It's like
I mean, to get a fight, Jay.
yeah, 100%.
Get a fight.
Well,
Build something up
because
and get a fight.
the love starts to grow. The love starts to go, bro. Yeah, that's where it's at. It's inspiring, man.
I'm gonna have to see if we go take Justin over there.
Yeah, man.
We gotta see to put Justin, spark him into something, get him off of that phone, get him off of that
Yeah,
PS5,
yeah.
right?
Shout out to Platinum Boxing Studios. That's where we working out, and yeah, man, you could bring Justin, man. It's definitely is dope. It's dope to be in that atmosphere and get into it. Even Justin, I know, but he's into football,
Yeah, he
right?
loves
He
football,
loves football, but
but
you know how
get him
many
into
boxers, how many football players are? Curtis was a football player.
contact sport,
You know what I
right?
mean? And he could get into boxing and end up loving it even more. And
Yeah, but I
you
want to
you
put
never
that
know.
structure too. I want to put him in there to get that structure. That I mean,
It's the
even if you because once you know that you can knock someone out, you walk differently. You know what I mean? More
yeah,
discipline in your life. You know what I mean?
more
Yeah, more
confidence.
confidence. Just build that confidence. Where your
That
head is high.
confidence changed the game, man. It's today. Today I picked up Jonas from school from the bus. I got him on the bus, and he said some funny stuff. Right? He said something funny, and I was like, "Oh, what you brought that to school?" He had like a little toy thing. I said, "You brought that to school with you?" He was like, "Yeah." Like he's this slick, and I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Ooh." I blocked that. He was like, "Oh, I slipped that." I was like, "Yeah," and I grabbed him, I hugged him. I was like, "Yeah, that's what I want." It's like like just that what's the word I'm looking for? That not the interaction but it's right into my tongue. Pause. Um, reflex. That type of reflex. Where I go like this, and he's like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. But him saying that it just shows that it's on his mind. You know what I mean? So man, it's a lot, and I'm excited about that. That's fatherhood right there, right? Like that's fatherhood. I'm excited to help him plant. Like I'm excited to plant that seeds and watch the tree grow.
But fatherhood is rough, right, Jay?
It's not easy, especially when you chasing your dreams. It's not easy. The shit gonna be challenged, but then you gotta sacrifice gonna have to come too, because it's gonna be nice. Like today, I told him, I said, "Yo, look, I'm not gonna see you tonight, but I see you in the morning, right?" He says, "Why you not seeing me?" I said, I'm working. I'm doing a podcast tonight." He was like, "All right, you gonna put it on YouTube?" Like, yeah. All right, cool. All right, I'll see you in the morning, all right? All right, cool. You know, so sacrificing times where I like being with him, man. I really love being with Jonas. Jonas is really a dope kid, and just us being together all the time is like, it helps me like just it helps me be like structured too, because I don't want to be tripping around him, like saying crazy shit around him, and watching what I say. So it's a blessing, it's a blessing, and it's just a part of the game, man. You know, that's what life is. That's definitely what life is. Um, yeah, yeah. What's up, man? What's going on? How was that presentation? Oh, okay. Yeah. How do you feel before we like since we talk about boxing and all that kind of stuff? How you feel about the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fighting?
Yeah,
You know,
don't
like
give a fuck
what do you
about
think
that.
about it?
It's money. We gonna get
This is
paid.
money.
It's like they always say, right? When someone is your boy, like Muhammad Ali always said that. Like, if you my boy, let's get paid.
Yeah,
Let's get paid. And at the end of the interaction is they got the best of both worlds. If I can't get money with you,
yeah.
does it make sense of us really being friends?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that world,
Yeah.
because the people they own, Jake Paul and his brother, they really got the social media world on lockdown when it
Jake
comes to that.
Jake Paul is doing. Yeah, he doing. I like. At first I wasn't really feeling the whole Jake Paul situation. Uh,
But he put life into boxing.
this is what I was just about to say. I wasn't really feeling it, and right there, I'm starting to like the energy that he's bringing. To me, he's more serious than that little punk Ryan Garcia. Like when it come down to boxing, and he's a YouTuber. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? He's more serious about. He's changing fighters' lives.
No, but he actually loves boxing
Yeah, he.
because you see he's putting everything into it,
Man,
Jay.
you see what he's doing with Amanda Serrano? He changed her life. He changed her life.
Mhm.
Like he changed her life. Like literally, like it's crazy what he's the opportunity that he's given for people. And somebody like her, a woman, that he ended up backing her, a woman, backing her, and it was also I think my opinion, it was a risk for her to go with him too, because he's a YouTuber. Yeah, he has some fights, but you've been in this game for so long. Her, speaking like the boxing world and all that kind of stuff. So for you to take the risk and go, all right, I'm gonna let this man be my promoter. That's a big risk because you don't know which way it's gonna go because
Mhm.
he's never done it before. Her life changed.
Mhm.
He took her to that next level.
He's putting her on his undercards, Jay. He got the
Yep.
people that you got the
took her
eyes.
took her to the next level. A woman at that, which is fire, which is
She's
super
talented,
fire.
asset. I mean,
Yeah, she
she
works.
works. She works
She works. She's not like just
because he ain't gonna
got her
just
there.
he ain't just gonna put no slouch on
Nah, he
her.
picked the right
He
one.
picked the right
If
one.
if you're gonna pick the woman, you got to pick the best one. She was the right one. She
Mhm.
was the right one. All her moves are like really, really good moves. She moved to Puerto Rico. She getting the whole Puerto Rican thing behind her. She moved to Puerto Rico to
Because
do all
he
that.
lives in PR, that
Yeah.
kid. Well, how do you see it? How do you see? What's your opinion on it? How do you speculate the Mike Tyson in it? What do you
I
see from
think
it?
I think it's dope. I think it's dope. It's gonna put money in both their pockets. Mike is on Mike. I think it's dope that Mike is 57 years old and still got that kind of energy. That's fire. I think is exciting to see. And I think I don't know if I might be biased because I'm reading his book right now, bro. I like Mike even more now, bro. It's like I you would think that his life. We know his life. We know so much of Mike.
I think he's part of our family, right,
Yeah,
Jay?
it's like so much of this guy, but when you read the book and you listen to these stories, you're like, nah, he really was it. He really had the life that everybody dreamed. I mean, from it was just crazy. He was just nuts, and it was just God. God, I don't know, man. God works in mysterious ways, and so just reading his book, and seeing him now the fight is inspiring. He's 57. You're gonna be 58 by the time he fights him. Seeing how he moves on the box, on just seeing how he moves with the pads hitting the bag. He's special. This is like he's a strong dude. You know what I mean? I met him before, and he grabbed my hand, he shook my hand, man. Man, that man is he's a fucking animal. How strong he is, like he don't even try to be strong.
If he stays in shape, right?
He don't even try to be strong. Yeah, he'll crush you. But yeah, it's I think it's dope. I think it's dope. It's entertainment.
But you
Look who
think
we got on the undercard, a man in them.
you think Jake is doing this more just to build that up, build his empire for that, just to start promoting? You think
Yeah,
just go straight
yeah,
into promoting, just
yeah.
take over the game, the whole boxing
I
game?
don't know if he's gonna take over
He
the
could
game.
do it, Jay. If anybody could do, he could do it.
I don't know if he could take over the game.
Because the new age, how the
Yeah,
way it's
yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah,
Look who took it. Everybody wants to
yeah,
go into the streaming, the Netflix deals.
yeah.
So imagine
No, you're
if he's
right.
putting these big dogs behind him,
You never know.
everything could just go. Cause look, there ain't no more Showtime boxing,
No, no,
no more HBO boxing.
no.
Everything is streaming.
Shit is crazy.
So imagine
Game
he's
is
taking that
changed.
because look, put it this way, how it works, how it's like the crazy, the biggest money grab, the streaming game of it. Because look at football, right? The NFL put a playoff game on Peacock for one game. Peacock gave them $100 million for that, and you know how much subscribers they gain back, right? So it's like everyone wants to go into that game.
That's where it's at.
So imagine he's the new wave is
That's where it's at.
that, and Jake
That's
Paul
where
is
it's at.
ahead of the game.
It's crazy that Netflix do that. I would think like
They
the
got the
zone,
money.
like the zone.
Everybody wants to go. Everyone wants to go. Everyone to go into live sports.
Yeah,
They want
no,
that.
yeah, 100%.
People love. My shit is only like watching TV because
Yeah.
of sports. I don't
Yeah.
watch anything else.
Which is crazy.
So he's ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
So all the deals. Let's say this is successful, right?
It's gonna be.
I mean, whatever the case is, Netflix is gonna see numbers they never seen before when it comes to that. He has the key,
And he did it. So he did it. He picked the biggest name, Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so smart. And like you talking about like oh yeah him. I'm already thinking yo Jonas could sign under him.
He could have the
Like shit like that.
Jonas is coming up on the YouTube era.
All that.
That's the guy. He could probably have the boxing game in it. He could revive the boxing game by himself.
Yeah.
All by himself. In a sense, big paydays.
Yeah.
And
But
because he talks about that splitting the money the right way.
no, I believe that. You saw what happened in the fight in Puerto Rico. This past week when him and Amanda was supposed to fight and that whole fight got canceled. Mm-hmm. She was the main event. The fight got canceled last minute. He refunded everybody's money that came to that fight, and he paid the fighter that was supposed to fight Amanda and all the rest of the fighters. He took an L for that, but for him to refund everybody's ticket that came to that fight, they took an L. But for him to do that was that's big.
Business. He's good business. Good business.
Yeah, he took an L he took that.
But he
L.
understood that he had to.
He had to, but most people wouldn't have done that.
No, but he's in a position he could do that.
Yeah, most people wouldn't have done that. So him
most
doing that was
not
great.
In that position, Jay.
But we talking about De La Hoya's and Floyd Mayweather. These guys are in that position. They could do that, but I don't think they would do that.
They'll just tell him, "Y'all got that for next fight."
Yeah, or whatever. I don't think that would happen. But I never seen some shit like that ever happen in boxing, where last minute you get in the ring and everybody's like, "Wait, hold up, you fighting? You coming in there dressed? It's canceled." So who knows how that whole situation panned out? But for him to do that was fucking huge, and I know he had to take a L on that. It was crazy. It was crazy how that happened. But the point is, he's willing to go through the storm to become one of them great promoters. I can see it happen. I think what's his promoting name called? I seen it. I can't think of it. What's the name of his promoting company?
That one guy is not coming to mind right now.
Jake Paul. Most valuable promotion.
MVP.
Like MVP. That's fire. Most valuable promotion. So it's big. So again, he could take over the game, but then he got to start tapping into more of the serious fighters like Amanda and all these other fighters. They just signed another little kid, 17 years old. He was on some TV show. I forgot his name, but he got to deal with Jordan and everything.
Yeah,
This little
that
kid,
kid that
and
he was a boxer. He was young and he became a star
I don't want to.
at that Euphoria stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect the kid and say he's trash. He got a lot to work on, but that fight that he just had, it was a draw. It was his first fight. Before he got his first fight, he got a deal, a Jordan deal, got his own boxing shoe,
He got his.
and
He
he signed with MVP. This is his first fucking fight and a quarter draw. He was nothing special. I mean, he's a young kid. He's growing and he got a lot to learn. But it's crazy. It's crazy the deal that he has,
It's the name,
and
Jay.
he didn't do nothing.
It's a name.
He didn't do nothing.
It's a name. That's what counts. The
He didn't do
money.
nothing. This is why I'm saying Joan is gonna be champ by 20 because YouTube or Instagram, all these little videos popping up, people see that, man. Hell yeah,
And he loves the camera. Jonas loves being
Yeah,
in
he
front of the
likes
camera.
it. He likes it. He look like he work harder when the camera's on.
Mm.
He like I turn the camera on, and start hitting the bag
And
harder.
he got that from you, Jay.
Shit, it's
He got
it's,
that
it's,
from you.
it's a different ballgame. But you know, I'm excited about this. Where boxing is going is getting more fun. And
You see Ryan Garcia quitting after this?
yeah, I can see him quit. I don't see him like I don't really see much of that kid. He's not like he's like a fake De La Hoya to me. You know what I mean?
De La Hoya was the truth.
Nah,
though,
but that's what
Jay.
I'm saying. De La Hoya was the truth.
Yeah,
He was one of those. He was one of them ones.
Yeah, he was the one.
Ryan Garcia is like he's a I don't even want to say the word. He's a bozo.
Mm.
That's a Ryan Garcia fan. That's a Ryan Garcia fan. Uh, what you don't like the way he look? You don't know boxing if you say that. You huh? Trash? Oh, you don't know boxing either, huh? But these are two different fighters. Tank is my guy, but I would somebody like a Devin Haney. I would never call Devin Haney a trash. But he's fucking incredible. He's
a boxer.
He's a boxer. He's a boxer, and he's
in the art of boxing. He's out.
It's the he's. So I guarantee y'all like Shakur more than y'all like Haney, right? She do. Yeah, Shakur is trash. You don't. Nobody ever seen it. We all watched his fights, and we still haven't seen enough of his fights. He don't fight. He run. He's a great track star, right? And it's crazy because I never said anything like that about a boxer. Like because people talk like that around like about
you know
Floyd.
What it is with Shakur is that his amateur career was so good.
Yeah,
and him being an Olympian, and he was a gold medalist at the Olympics.
No, did he get the gold?
I think he won gold. If I'm not mistaken. Look it up.
I don't think I know he went. I think he got robbed. He got robbed.
Because I remember it was in talks back then. Floyd was gonna pick him up, but he didn't sign with Floyd.
Yeah. I remember. Shakur got robbed. He got robbed. He was supposed to win gold, and they robbed him bad. But hell yeah, man, that shit is it's crazy, man. The boxing game is crazy, and Devin Haney. I can't wait for the Devin Haney fight to happen, so you can see what he's gonna do to Ryan Garcia's funny ass. Tank, that'll happen. That'll be a great fight. I got Tank all day. You know, but that'll be a great fight.
He's a gold medal,
and you can't go off of like a fight like that. You can't go off of that sparring match that happened. That's going around. He won
silver. Yeah, he got robbed.
Yeah, he got robbed. There's a video of him like crying really, really bad. After he got robbed. That's tough. You know, Floyd Mayweather got robbed in the Olympics too. Mm-hmm. They gave
the last person who won a gold medal in the U.S. was Andre Ward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know how much Andre's first fight was? How much he got for that first fight?
How much?
$250K.
That's big to come because gold medal.
First fight.
It's like they were saying that. I remember, because I remember when Floyd came out, he got silver and De La Hoya got gold.
You know how much he got?
He got, I think it was, he walked into $1 million payday.
$1 million.
His $1 million payday. And he got 100.
Golden boy.
And I think Floyd got 100,000 or 50K. He got some low ball shit. Yeah. Because that's why he left. He left Bob Arum because he said they were the only focus on De La Hoya.
Yeah. He paid out that contract, $750K.
Yeah, he bought out that contract. But he bet on himself.
Big balls to do that. Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, it's the boxing world I think is super exciting right now, and it's a great time to be alive when it comes down to the boxing world. So yeah, man, and I think today was a good one.
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. We gotta have a part two
Definitely gonna have a
to the
part two.
next story. Our story is a little too long. Just cut here, right?
Nah, yeah, nah, we got so much, but we definitely gonna put it together for next week and stuff like that. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Thank you for coming out, man. Let's get it, man. Make sure you guys catch part two. Jay Peso Papito. This is the Jay Peso podcast. Make sure you share, subscribe, comment, like, all of that good stuff, and catch us on the next one. Let's get it. Peace.